Yeah. Ready to do some movement? That's right. Bring her hands in the front like that. I'm just thinking what to do about the leaning back. Because as long as she's doing that, she's not doing other things, which includes doing anything with her hands.
Yeah, it's very prominent. I mean, that's definitely a position she's in a lot.
You can lift one shoulder and then the other, or lift the two and kind of pick up the middle of the spine a little bit. Want to get her back mobile and then do some movements to get those arms in the front. That's it. That's very good. You lift one shoulder. Does she ever lie on the belly by herself?
She, just as much as you've kind of seen her rolling towards her stomach, she's never really wanted to lay on her stomach a lot.
Here you can really work on the spine, because on the belly, even partially on their belly, like she just was, you can just do a lot on her spine. So if she's doing something like that and she takes her arms away, what you do is you just put your hands to the floor. So her butt would go directly to the floor, simulating falling, right? You don't make her actually fall. But I mean, I see it with our little 3-year-old. She'll try to do a somersault just like that, and she'll take her hands away. I go, no, that's going to hurt your neck, so we take her right out of it.
Let's try to lie on your belly.
Or put her on her side and we'll work toward getting on the belly. That's better. Go on the side and start doing the little movements along the spine, and gradually it gets them to go onto their belly. Leg that's on the bottom, lengthen it a little bit so the knee on the top is in front and the foot on top is in front. So her left foot is in front of the right. Yeah, that's it. Just like that. And you don't have to straighten it more than that. That's
okay.
Just so one is in front of the other. And then the other arm has to also get out of the way. So the bottom leg has to be a little longer so it gets out of the way. And the bottom arm has to also eventually go up so it gets out of the way. That's it. And you see she's going toward rolling onto the belly. That's it. And just think the right leg getting a little longer when you do it. So you're straightening the right leg at the same time as twisting the pelvis a little bit. That's fine. There you go. That's it. Perfect. See, she did it. Oh, let her go down. Go down. She got onto the belly there and immediately got out, but that's exactly the idea. Just go really slowly and gradually so she doesn't have to flip onto her belly, but just a very gradual. And since she has the idea, what you can do is just go part way and then put your hand on the spine. And yeah, and then just scoop that right leg a little longer and she'll be on the belly. That's fine. And then just work along the spine there, doing little movements on each vertebrae. If you can get her feeling the comforting touch, she'll just quiet down and stay there. There's just a lot we could do with her lying on the belly. That's okay. Let her rest. That's perfect. Good job. That's it. Yeah, it's getting softer. You feel your whole torso gets a little softer. And you can also work around the ribs and try to get the whole rib cage to be a little softer. You go up and down the sternum and do those movements with the ribs that we've done, because getting the ribs to be a little softer makes it a lot more comfortable to be on the belly. That's very nice. Much softer movement, much more flexible in her chest there. So it seems very chaotic, but then I see that she's doing better with everything that you do. It's really something. So you're definitely getting through there. Okay, now go up around her head, go sit behind her there, And do what you did earlier, putting the hand on the shoulder. So keep twisting, keep rolling in the same direction. Just go with your hands under her shoulders. Let's keep it as close to the spine as possible. That's the idea. The idea is just the same rolling movement, helping her to roll herself a little bit while you support the upper spine, help her twist the upper spine. Even though you're probably having a ball. That's excellent. There you go. And pushing the hands is one thing to do, and then slide the knees down. That's it. There you go. Now you know. That's what you can do anytime she goes to do that headstand thing, is slide her knees down. That's it. You're doing fine. There you go. That's right. So if she wants to move, it has to be rolling, sitting up, not her headstand thing, to get out of that. And also, if she wants to scoot, we want to encourage bringing the hands forward. Here, let's try that. Try bringing her hands to the floor with her side sitting like that, just smacking the floor and then coming back up. Then come back up. That's it. So take that knee that's in front, put the foot up flat, put that foot, and then smack the foot a couple of times. That's it. And then as you do it, bring her weight forward. So eventually her hip would lift off the floor.
No.
That's right. Perfect, Katie. That's exactly right. So that should just fail. When she tries to stand up in that way that requires your support, or when she goes to do an extreme headstand, you just make it gently fail like that, so that the more it fails, then the less of a habit it becomes. Come on back. I have to figure out ways to do the same with this backwards crawling that she does. Right? We want to start to replace that with something that's going to lead somewhere, right? Which would be moving forward instead of moving back. That's it. Then put the 2 feet standing. See if you can. That's it. Now alternate between the feet and the hands. Put the 2 feet standing. That's it. She has to go forward with the hands, and then the butt would lift, and then the head would lift to stand up. The way you can do it is you get her hands between her knees to start with. Get her hands in between her legs, and then put her feet standing. You put your hands down. Now slide your hands to the floor. That's nice. That's right. That's right. Put her feet a little wider. That she just did it herself. She did it already. She loves it. She's really got something new there. Slide your hands. One way you can do it is slide her hands on her leg, so she actually can touch the leg and slide the hands down toward the foot, and then they're already there at the floor. This is kind of there you go. Very nice. Now that's fine. That's enough for now. We just introduced it. She did it a few times, so don't repeat it. Reinforcement doesn't have to happen immediately, and it actually is better to go and do other things, and then we'll come back to that. We're going to come back to that a lot. Trust me. So
yeah, I mean, she kind of initiated that at least twice.
Well, this is the thing, is that it's brain work, right? We're relying on the intelligence of the system. And what happens is when anybody is put into a configuration that's more like a normal human configuration, oh, I can do that, sure. And she does it. So she gets where we're pointing her in most cases, right? And when it doesn't, we change directions and go and do something else. But always we're getting her voluntary, not only cooperation, but action. We have to get her participating in it, and that's how the learning actually happens. Without that, nothing happens. That's why manual therapy doesn't work. Still, she will go back and forth, just like with her other habits. You go back a few weeks when there was a lot of kind of upset in between, and now there's a lot less of that. And now we've got the kind of crawling around a lot, but you'll see as things progress, you'll see less and less of that. So the other benefit is that those more useful configurations that start to make more sense and start to be able to turn into things that she can do, those replace the other habits that make less sense and don't really get her as far, don't really lead to anything. So, crawling and these movements you're doing here, that leads to something. It leads to standing, it leads to walking. But this movement she's doing doesn't lead anywhere, goes nowhere. That's as far as it goes, right? That's the end of the road for that configuration. She'll never go from there. The only thing she can do is a backflip, maybe. You don't go from leaning backwards on your hands to standing up. It's just not structurally going to happen, right? So that will get replaced with the more useful movements that lead to higher function. That's just how it goes. That's how the brain works. So now you can do a little bit on her hands and feet and head and neck, and lightly pressing, roll her head a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right, and it gives you a stronger impression of your own structure in gravity. And another is, we've done before, is lifting and lowering her head. You can also do it with the hand. So I'll do just how you're holding your hand there. I'll hold the hand and then take my hand away from the elbow and let the elbow drop, and do a few times dropping the arm on the floor, so she gets the sensation of falling in gravity. Right now, if you let go of the hand, her arm will just stay in the air. I feel the muscle tension go away, and then drop the elbow. So you get this feeling of the elbow just hitting the mat in a few different ways. And it's, again, kind of waking up the brain to, oh, I'm in gravity. I'm here. I always go down. You always fall down. We're also, again, working with her intelligence. So once you find an entry where you can give her that feeling of falling and her weight being caught on the floor, try to do it in other places and see if she'll get the idea. There you go. That's right. And it's not so much that it has a direct correlation, one-to-one effect, but you'll find that certain combinations give you an entry into her nervous system, that it's going to work. Oh, I wasn't able to get her to feel that she can drop the elbow. Let's see if I can get her to feel she can drop the feet. Now let's see if she feels the elbow. So you just kind of go back and forth and try different combinations, because you don't really know what's going to happen. And everything is so complex that you try a combination and you may land on something that really is meaningful for her, right? She goes, oh, that's what that is.
Okay.
Right. And for her, a lot of things, just knowing that she's so focused over the one side, and that she has the scoliosis bringing her to one side, to do a lot of things on one side only, right? And then the next day do it on the other side. But the less symmetrical at this point, the better, actually. It seems a little counterintuitive, but you don't want to necessarily do something here and then do this. A tendency of a lot of practitioners to want to always kind of even things out and do it on both sides.
Yeah.
But it actually has more impact, more meaning if you just do things on one side. Okay. And also has a lot of meaning when, like you did before, when she put the hands on the floor with the feet standing. I said, stop, let's not repeat that, because that actually has more impact that way. And we go back to that next week, or you can practice it over the weekend and build on it from there. Okay. Knowing when to stop is really important, actually. And not doing more to make sure, or to let's make sure to reinforce it, or let's see if that really happened, but to just trust that the neurons are firing. Her brain is definitely working. She's really got some intelligence there, because she picks up on things and is figuring stuff out. That's it for this week. See you next week.
All right. Thank you.
Great work, Belle. You're doing terrific. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome.